Hi guys, welcome back to Origami Twist. Sorry about the informality of this introduction. I got everything edited for this video and then realized that I did not explain very well what the video is about. This particular video is actually the story behind the captain's shirt origami model. So there are going to be two parts to this in two separate videos. First, I'm telling the story so that you have the story to tell to other people once you make the model. And then the second video will actually be the model itself so that you can create the model and then tell your friends or your children or whoever your audience is the story of the captain's shirt. So I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun putting this together. I love storytelling, always have, and it's especially fun when it can be combined with paper crafting. So without further ado, we need to name our boat. All right, this is a fabulous little boat here. And let's see, who's going to own the boat? Let's say Larry owns the boat. So, Larry. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to give you lots of details about the construction. That will be explained in the second video. But for now, just know that you need to name the boat, okay? And I'd say, Larry, Captain Larry decided to go for an amazing voyage. So, he got a crew together and he hopped in his boat, his little pea green boat, and set sail. Now, Larry was sailing along, as Larry does, the captain of the high seas. But all of a sudden, they came into some very rough waters. It was pretty scary for Larry, and he was around in circles, and he just started spinning, and his boat, they thought it was going to go down, but luckily, they only lost the bow. Which means they still had the sails and they still had the back of the boat. That's a good thing when you're still trying to get to your destination. So Larry made a decision and he said, right, we still have quite a ways to go, but I think she'll make it, boys. I think she'll make it. We've got sails anyway, so it should work fine, right? Yeah, right. So they kept sailing. They had to turn the boat around the other way though, because now this was the bow. Otherwise it would take on water, right? So everybody all the way to the front of the boat and they sailed along. And they sailed along, limped along was more like it, but whatever. And they sailed and they sailed and they sailed and they sailed, but all of a sudden, a sea monster came up out of the water. Ah! And all of the guys on Larry's boat went, ah! It was pretty scary, said Larry. And the sea monster, well, he was hungry. And the sea monster bit the tip off Larry's boat. Now Larry was not a happy guy at this stage. He'd lost the front of his boat. Now he'd lost the other front of his boat. But at least he still had his sails. So Larry said to all the guys on the crew, what are we going to do? And the crew said, we trust you, Larry. We can get to our destination. So Larry said, right, let's go. We've still got our sails. We're still floating. So now it's just sails on a barge. It's all good, right? Right. So Larry kept sailing. And his crew kept sailing, and sailing and sailing and sailing, and sailing and sailing and sailing again, and sailing and sailing and sailing, as they do. Sea shanties, all kinds of stuff. It was lots of fun out there, except that the front and the back of the boat were missing, and the front and the back. What am I going to do, he said. Well, Larry came upon the biggest hurricane that he had ever seen. Now, if you're in the southern hemisphere, let's do it this way. So Larry came upon the biggest cyclone he'd ever seen. It was awful. Absolutely scary for Larry. So Larry and the boat and all of its passengers started spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. And all of a sudden, that horrible weather ripped off Larry's sails. Well, you know what happens when you lose your sails and the front and the back and the back and the front of your boat? That's right. Typically, you sink. And the boat went down and down and down and down, never to be heard of again. But that's not the end of this story. You see, Larry's friends back home and the crew's friends back home, they wanted to find Larry's boat. They wanted to commemorate Larry when they found out that he wasn't going to make it to his destination. They were sad. And so they decided to roam the beaches near where Larry was supposed to land. And they went back and forth along the beaches, looking for Larry and his crew and his boat. But I'll tell you, it's a very sad ending to this story, because all that was left of Larry, his boat, the front and the back and the back and the front, and the sails and the crew, was the captain's shirt. Yep, that's it, guys. The story of the captain's shirt. Now, if you would like to make the captain's shirt and the little boat that it came from, all you have to do is check out the second video. I'll put a link up here so you can go and have a look. If you enjoyed this video and enjoy paper crafting and other interesting projects, then please feel free to subscribe, like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment telling me what you think and if you tried it and told this story to your kids or friends or the like. Alright guys, I hope you have a great day and take care. Bye.